Well, the match of the stage lived up to the billing. We've got one final game remaining for Playday 7 here for Stage 3. Maybe we could be leaving best till last, but Rob, I feel like that's unlikely off the back of what we just had and the ramifications for it as well. Invictus Gaming going to Sweden. Coming up, though, we've got a pretty interesting one. Wildcard versus QConfirm. And Manic, obviously, this is one where while Wildcard can't necessarily make top 4, there's still that little battle. QConfirm, Direwolves, what's going to happen?
And I think that's kind of what we need to look at, you know, take a step back, bigger picture here. QC have been, you know, up and down, but I mean, speaking of up and down, Wildcard have been, I mean, they have been the picture. If you look them up, if you look Wildcard up in the dictionary, it won't give you the explanation of Wildcard. It will just give you the explanation of what it feels like to have one of the worst seasons that we have seen to date. And that's not a dig. And I'm saying yearly. I'm not saying stage, because their stage hasn't been utterly awful, but their yearly performance just has really missed the mark. And I think that they would agree with all of this, and you know, they'd be kicking themselves. They had such a good opportunity coming into this year. It's been kind of a misstep after misstep. I don't even know how to explain it, because the roster individually is unbelievable. We say this every time. The caliber of players, Vinny, Milo, I mean, literally every single player there I can list off individually and say they are unbelievable. But the sum of the collective just does not seem to match the sum of the individual, and unfortunately that has been their downfall.
They still have a chance to crack double digits and go for that sort of pride play that we saw from Order earlier on in the broadcast. But Raven, their opponents, QConfirm, they got more to play for than just pride. They're playing for a top 4 place. They're playing for playoffs.
Yeah, and look, I think after the season they've had as well, they're certainly going to be wanting this just for their confidence. They seem to swings and roundabouts with their form. It's actually quite crazy. It's so hard to predict which QConfirm we're going to see in the server, but when they show up, super strong. They've had a pretty great stage so far. They're definitely in with a shot here for playoffs. But look, some of their less expected players have kind of stood up for them this stage. In particular, Dark, I've got to give a shout out to him. He's been having some fairly big games for them, kind of outperforming some of the more usuals, being Producer Boom, Spacehead, or Lacolis. So yeah, look, I think they've got it in them to be able to take out this wildcard outfit, but yet again, it's just, I don't know. I have such little confidence in being able to figure out which QConfirm we're going to see today.
Certainly agree with you there. It's not been an easy one to predict. They're certainly a culprit when it comes to the APAC South League and being able to predict these matchups. If we get QConfirm at their best, though, Matic, they're heavy favourites. If we don't, Wildcard are a bit of a chance.
Well, I think, you know, the easy way to sum that up is looking back at Stage 2, the first 4-5 Playdays, they absolutely blitzed the tournament. It was like we could never have expected QConfirm to really pull their weight like that, and they did. They punched well above where we were expecting them to, and then ever since then, I don't know, Playday 5 I think it was, or even Playday 6, it's just been downhill and a rocky road for them. Stage 3, you know, they've obviously still got that opportunity to make it to the playoffs, which is absolutely incredible. I think that is obviously the point that we're highlighting here, but it does feel like it's been a little bit diminished just because, you know, I don't know, this league, man, I don't know what to say. Like 7 to 13 points, 6 points separate bottom to top. It just, I don't know how you can write this stuff.
Let's go and have a look at the map vetoes for this final match of the broadcast and, of course, out of the stage. It hasn't been much success outside of Clubhouse for Wildcard. They're going to have to find success here on Chalet, which is actually their best performing map, Raven. So they shouldn't be too upset with this, except for the fact that QConfirm also play very well on Chalet. In fact, they've got their highest round differential on this map.
Yeah, look, it looks like it's quite a good one for QConfirm. We haven't seen a whole lot from Wildcard on it, so it can be hard to say. They've had a win, a loss, and a win all in OCN on Chalet, so I don't know, pretty hard to stack up. I'm going to say, though, I feel like this favors QConfirm. The one that's standing out to me here is, you know, they had a victory against Knights on Chalet. Maybe that doesn't stand out as much as it should, though, now that I think about it, because Knights haven't had the greatest stage either. But I'm still leaning towards QConfirm. You know, I feel like if they show up, Chalet is a map that'll probably go well for them.
Yeah,
Rob?
I think Wildcard here, I mean, I don't favour them in this matchup in particular against QConfirm, but I certainly don't favour them in this matchup against QConfirm on Chalet. I think that this is a veto that's been won by QConfirm, but, you know, that comment has already gone back to bite me in the backside today. But I do think that heavily so, this should be a QConfirm game. And, you know, you look at the way QConfirm play as well, I feel like Chalet leads into that a lot. QConfirm will get in your face, they'll get aggressive on the defense. And, yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel confident for Wildcard on Chalet.
Boys, QConfirm, both of you?
Sticking with QConfirm. Yeah,
Rob?
I just
Yeah.
would be surprised if it doesn't go that way.
I'm going to go for QConfirm as well. They need all 3 points to make top 4 and the playoffs to dislodge Dire Wolves. We're going to throw it over to your 2 favorite casters. It is, of course, Dev and the other guy. Who?
That's not very nice, guys. Do you want like the floor? Or you want to say something back to your co-caster?
No, it's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
you just expect substandard throws from a substandard host, so...
Well, what more can you say? Now let's see if Wildcard can manage to dodge the throws that they have been putting out all year long. QConfirm have everything before them, but they need to win in regulation. That means that they will go to the playoffs and keep their dream of being the first Thai team to make it to a major. Elevate will also be there doing just that. Wildcard can't make it to playoffs, and they are confirmed to play in relegations. Nothing to fight for Wildcard. Everything on the line for QC. Sound familiar? Chiefs versus Order. Let's go back in our final match of APAC South for Stage 3.
I was gonna say, dude, it's echoing that same sentiment. If Wildcard spoil the party here despite having despite having nothing to play for, zero. I don't know, I think my mind is still honestly spiraling from the last game. I've half lost my voice, like I'm sure you have, and my brain capacity was already quite low. Now it's very much low. So this might be a struggle to get through, but we do have that exciting storyline to grapple onto. QConfirm, they need to win in regulation. That's the key storyline. Any other result, neither of these teams will make it to the playoffs.
Wildcard banning out the Thatcher Sawyer. This is a Valk in tandem. They love to ban out the Valk. Wildcard do. On Chalet, occasionally they get rid of the mirror though. So maybe, yeah, there you go. Some mirror ban out for them. Flora's taken out by QC. Could well round out with a Valk here. I'm feeling the Valk. It's got to be the Valk. Just get rid of the Valk. No one wants to play against Valk these days.
I'm gonna call mute ban.
Oh, no, not happening, mate. Get out. Not happening.
It could be.
Can you count with me? Ready? It's like 4, 3, 2, 1. Valkyrie! Hey! I mean, don't give me too much credit.
You were playing the numbers game, so...
Statistically,
Yeah,
25% of the time QC ban it. League-wide, it's also the most banned defender, believe it or not, 26.9% for Valkyrie. So no one wants to play against Valkyrie these days, but we dig into Chalet, map that's only been played 3 times in Stage 3, and it does have a slightly attacker-sided win rate at 54%. That means that if you get 3-3, it's kind of even for either team. If you get 4-2 on your defense, you're going to be looking very comfortable heading into the second half. That's exactly what QC are aiming for, alongside a regulation win.
Chalet, since its reintroduction into the competitive pool post-rework, has naturally been pretty attacker-sided, and we're seeing the meta shift towards being pretty even for the most part, and attack able to exploit a lot of defensive setups that otherwise in the past may have been difficult to deal with. So Wildcard, they'll be looking to lean into that and see what they can rather produce. A team that traditionally and historically very structured, very slow paced, have been, I think, trying to sort of switch up their roles a little bit, try and speed up those attacks and lean into the more aggressive gun-heavy meta that we're sort of in at the moment. But there are times when Wildcard do not look as comfortable and confident, but they fall back into that crutch and they do struggle. So I'm keen to see, when they have nothing to win, nothing to lose, what are they going to bring into the server here? We saw Order, again, against Chiefs play super loose and really bring, I guess, an exciting brand of Siege into the server that was difficult to shut down. So maybe Wildcard will take note of that and try it themselves.
I mean, that's what we've been saying all year long, hasn't it? Like, ever since they lost Diesel, it's like, all right, Wildcard, maybe you need to play a bit more aggressive. But if there's one thing that Wildcard tends to lack, it's conviction. And that's what they really need to grip onto and demonstrate that, look, we're wrong, prove the naysayers wrong. I've heard a lot that Wildcard look really strong in scrims. I've, you know, spoken to various people, and I've heard that Wildcard are a very scary team in scrims. But, you know, that always gets me hyped up, and then we come and see them on game day, and they just lack any consistency and can really struggle.
Attackers have located a bomb.
QConfirm are a team that have their ups and downs as well. And they're the ones that have the high stakes in this match.
Almost a minute into round number 1. Wildcard looking to maybe clear out Solar and go for a northern push. We did see a bit of play down below in terms of trophy, and that may be an entry point as well. Try and flush out that stairs position. Aim over in on that common rappel, cutting off the cross in bathroom. Bit of a safety net as the likes of Geo try and hold down the windows. Milo as well on double window, holding a critical cross as well. So Wildcard at the moment in really good positions. Pat gets boots on the ground as well at the top of Solar stairs, and at the moment they're making good progress.
But now they just wait. QConfirm do the same. Hajime low HP and trapped. As Wildcard are watching these rotations, but QConfirm haven't moved as of yet. And that means that Wildcard haven't found those freebies they've been looking for. Still waiting, and there's the C4. A very nice one at that. The lion roars, but still the nade has not managed to land. Can Vinny get it? He does. And Spacehead locked out of the server.
Power of Thinker in the current meta. Almost a staple pick for a lot of teams at the moment. Vinny will double up down below with a drone. Maybe able to find that pick onto the player inside kitchen. Bit of a 50-50 fold if Vinny wants to commit.
Oh my.
Oh, another nade. Geo onto Hajime. Now it's a 4 versus 3. 4v2 as well now as Milo, I assume, on that rappel does find a pick. In fact, he fell off. Still finds a kill. Producer Boom and Dark to try and clutch up.
Yeah, Tuesday does get the one-on-one with Milo. Trade from Vinny, all on Dark. And there goes Geo. Very winnable. Diffuser down, cold on the ground, but Vinny doesn't lose those. Wildcard can be quite happy to lock out their first round of attack here on Chalet.
Sunshine and rainbows for Wildcard in round number 1, and that's not a phrase we have applied to them all that much this year. Unfortunately, has been very rough going for them, and they do find themselves in a relegation position. So if anything else, yes, this game might not be for anything, but a bit of pride and confidence, particularly, or potentially rather, on the line here to try and build something heading into that relegation run. Very excited, I think, to see how that plays out. Some real up-and-coming teams from OCN, for example. We also have teams from South Asia and Southeast Asia as well, gunning for some of these spots. So really curious, I think, to see just how these teams stack up, because yes, Wildcard may not be particularly strong here and have struggled a bit in APAC South throughout the year.
Attackers need to
I'd
locate
still
and
argue
defuse
that
as many
all
bombs
these
as
teams
they
are
can.
probably a cut above, at their very best, some of the teams that are going to make it through that relegation run. So
Bomb located by
just keen to
attackers.
see how they compare.
And how do we think Wildcard will fare in the relos? Like, a lot of good teams are coming up. We've been kind of theorizing about some of the Southeast Asian teams that might come up through the Southeast Asian national circuits. I believe Velocity 9 is one of the names that's been tossed around. Of course, us casting a lot of OCN, we know that it's Rocklecopter and Bliss. Bliss in particular, a really powerful
Attackers have
team.
located a bomb.
And of course, you've got, you know, Mercenaries and Kira and all kinds of other teams from the South Asia region that have been doing pretty well. Their nationals still ongoing. How do we honestly rate Wildcard's chances of making it back to APAC League 2022?
That's a tough question. At their best, Wildcard, I think, will make it through.
Wait, when are they at their best? Literally,
You stole the words from
tell
my
me
mouth.
one moment
I
when they're
know.
at their best.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I was going to back up and say. Like, we just haven't seen that. And we keep waiting for it. And I'm sure they're waiting for it as much as we are, if not probably a whole lot more. And it just hasn't clicked. It hasn't quite come into fruition. So who knows what's on the horizon here for Wildcard. But at the moment, they're just focusing here on this matchup. See what they can get done, have a bit of fun, try and get one more win on the board. I think they have potential as well to jump up a position, maybe as well, if I'm correct. So
check
yeah,
that on
in
my
fact, they
end.
could actually jump above QC, which would be pretty funny. Trailing by 1 point at the moment, so any win here for
can
Wildcard
all-
would be a jump.
can also jump above order, but they can only, the best they can do is 5th place, because even if they win this in regulation, they'll be tied with Direwolves and Elevate on 11 points. And they have the worst round difference of the 3, so they won't make the tiebreaker.
Imagine finishing equal 3rd and not making playoffs.
There you go. That's APAC South for you, mate.
That's rough, as Geo looks to get an entry. Ping inside of blue, misses the shot, however. Narrowly avoided there by that defender in blue, like Colas. Elsewhere, will swing, finds a kill. Pat, though, to trade that one back.
Reload.
Good control downstairs from Wildcard, but what does that really mean? The meta shifting for this bar games room attack from looking for a full map clear across, contesting library by taking office, to this really kind of haphazard, you clear downstairs, you clear a little bit of everywhere, you cut off, wait for picks. It really has taken over the meta. I personally don't get it. And it always makes me scared, because what it looks like is Wildcard standing around for a very long time and not necessarily having a solid execute in mind.
45 seconds on the board. Pat has the diffuser outside game's double window. He'll be looking to get that vault in, plant at the half wall. Can QConfirm deny that from happening? Producer Boom behind the chassis is in a great position to achieve that result. As Vinny, elsewhere, will drop Dark. Wildcard in a decent position, but a couple of these strongholds still in place.
A lot of map control still afforded to QC. So it's going to come down to these entries. Oh, and there's a Wildcard player. Did he manage to see Producer Boom? I don't know if he did. Vinny's upstairs. Space Set as well has retained that control. My God, Producer Boom eventually shut down. And Pat can force that kit onto the floor. As Space Set, he's in a great position. He can 100% clutch this. It's all Pat. And he does land the shots. As close as a bee's privates away. Pat gets it done. My God, Wildcard.
A beast private.
Well, I feel like the normal saying I would
it's
I don't know,
PP.
maybe I'll get to another moment. I'll do it. If there's another moment, I'll say it.
That's why we don't do math on broadcast as well, by the way.
Yeah.
You said 100% and it wasn't, so you're wrong and you're a bad caster.
It's not very nice.
Honestly, at this point, I don't know about you, but
I'm chalked right now.
I'm chalked. Yeah.
I'm more chalked than Elevate after that loss, honestly.
I don't think I've ever been so exhausted
Attackers need to
from
locate and
casting
defuse.
Game of Siege. That was the last one. It was just a journey and a half. I don't think I will be going to sleep anytime soon tonight. So we may have to play some ranked to cool
half a
down.
packet of gummy bears, so I definitely stuck it
I may
out.
have shotgunned a couple of energy drinks, so...
Yeah.
I do want to say though, what a start from Vinny, going 5-1. Sure, it didn't quite clutch up when it mattered there to find that shot in the 2v1, but still a great start from him. And we know that Vinny, just for the longest time, has had so much potential. He's also shown it on multiple occasions as well, particularly when Wildcard were quite strong. But feels like he has plateaued maybe a little bit. Don't know how much of that is, again, team dynamic and whatnot. And it does feel like sometimes Vinny does crumble under a bit of pressure, but it's good to see that in a match like this where there isn't that pressure, he can start to shine a little bit more. So far a good start, and that finger roll at the moment in this meta is so critical. So if he can continue to flourish, I have no doubt the rest of the team will benefit.
Look, if there's anything I know about Wildcard, it's that they are a team that put a lot of pressure on themselves. You think of these players, right? Like Vinny, Milo. What are you doing for this? If this works, I don't know. I feel like I need to just get up and walk away. If this works.
They're both on drones.
Milo, oh no. There's no goddamn way. No. Absolutely.
Oh, he's running
Chalk.
shotgun as well.
Absolutely chalk. There's no other word for that.
Oh, poor
Milo has got, I mean, his monitor is going to have a massive fist-sized crack in it after that one.
Yeah, no doubt. A little bit frustrating for him. Another drone taken down. Geo scared to enter. And rightly so, if he contests Producer Boom on those stairs, he's unlikely to win that duel. So a bit of a Mexican standoff at the moment. Minute 45 in the round. What's going on elsewhere? Pat has that diffuser. on Library Repel. Actually, no, he's inside of games. Looking to try and find an entry for himself. Like Collars goes down elsewhere. So effectively, now a 4 versus 4 at the halfway point.
I mean, come on, how much longer will Producer Boom stay here? Oh my god. Like, what do I even say? What do I even say when QConfirm do that? It's just unbelievable. Somehow, Wildcard managed to get it back. Wait a second, is a QC player prone at mezzanine? Is there a QC player prone at mezzanine? Oh, god damn it, he's down. But Hajime pushes forward. I mean, what can you expect from me when you're watching a team like this? It's a one-on-one.
What the hell?
Spacehead versus Geo.
55 seconds left. Geo needs to make his way up the stairs, and there's a player in box. It's Spacehead close. Geo needs to win the swing, has a nade in the pocket that he could utilize. Sees the head, but elects not to shoot. Does follow up, finds a hit or two through the wall. Spacehead, though, still alive, could win this out. Geo needs to show the initiation. Creeps forward, trying to mask his sound. Now will sprint. Spacehead baited into the shots, but misses. Geo will try and re-attempt, enters in towards Library, at least teases it for now. It's a close duel, both players missing, but Geo wins it out. And it's 3 straight for Wildcard.
Yeah, that was a round. That was certainly a round. I'll tell you that much. And Wildcard won it at the end. What happened in between the start of the round and the end of that round, I don't really want to comment on. I don't even know what to say.
Because this isn't being streamed, do you think they might just edit out that last round?
I think they should. Can we just cut it?
Watch it again.
Can we just cut out that round? Yeah. I mean, it'll just be 2-0 Wildcard, and then they just get a free round. Let's call it a penalty to QC for forcing us to watch that round.
I don't think anyone should be subjected to watching what that was, because it was very interesting.
I just love that QC threw everything at the wall. They just did not give a flying flip. They just pushed on forward, player after player. I mean, when Producer Boom can one-tap Milo by dodging drones in Snowmobile and then still get fed a pick with the shotgun while playing the stairs, it's just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And it's a tilter for Wildcard, except for the fact that they're 3-0 up, right? So I feel like they've got to keep composed. They've got to be happy. I mean, you already mentioned Vinny, right? 7-2 at the minute. He's, despite getting swung on from every which way by these crazy Thai players, I mean, he's got to be pretty satisfied with the results.
It's such a shame that heading into this Playday, Wildcard have the worst round diff in the league. If it was even a little bit closer, there could have been that storyline where Wildcard needed to just smash QConfirm to win that round diff tiebreaker, but that's just not the case because they're trailing by too much.
Yeah, and you look at the reason why Wildcard is trailing in round difference is because they lost 7-1 to Knights in their opening Playday and 7-2 to Invictus. All of their other games are reasonably close. In fact, they had 2 overtime losses to Direwolves and Order. So if Wildcard had just found a couple more rounds against Knights, remember that really cursed game with the crash rehost and then the replay of that last round? That could be the thing that just pulls Wildcard's round difference too low to be able to make it into playoffs. Even if they win this match in regulation, which looks like, I mean, we may well be on track for, yeah, this is an attacker-sided map and they've started on an attack, but I don't see any signs of QConfirm starting to fight back.
Minutes on the clock. Emo set up on the same rappel, cutting off Bathroom as Pat with the diffuser in hand, looking to probably get inside of Solarium. Vinny as well posted outside Trophy, so very similar positions to what we saw last time. Wildcard successfully won this site. Last time Pat got into Solar pretty easily. No one necessarily holding the stairs hard here from QC. Unfortunately, Hajime as well will disconnect. That leaves it in a 5 versus 4, and I mean, based on the positions that Wildcard have at the moment, they'll have Solar pretty quickly, and from there should be able to convert some map control.
They're going to make it easier in the 5v4. All of these QC players in very predictable positions, which really sets up Wildcard well. Producer Boom's the single player downstairs trying to hold on, while all the other guys looked like they were on the top floor. So Wildcard should be in a prime position to make this work, to start pushing on forward, and they've got some good lines of sight to work with too.
Swapping.
50 seconds now left. Still decent amount of utility still available here for Wildcard. One grenade, some flashbangs as well from Emorin. That could come in handy. Only 3 drones though, so they'll probably need to back themselves in to predict where QConfirm will be playing and respond accordingly. Pack gets an aggressive like Polar. Spacehead as well gets aggressive. They're all just throwing picks here over towards Solarium, and Producer Boom in basement is the last one standing. It's now 4 straight for Wildcard.
Yeah, Milo, I feel you on that one. I feel you on that one. This has got to be just an opportunity for Wildcard to have a bit of a vent on all their frustrations all year long. And they are just slamming on through and taking charge of this match for nothing against QConfirm. Imagine getting this close and still not being able to make it to the major. And look, guys, like we were talking a lot about the pressure that knowing the implications of your matches, like knowing the stakes of your matches, the pressure that puts on you. Now, we talked about off-air about how Luna from IG didn't realize that Chiefs had lost their game. When they played Elevate, they didn't know that they needed to win, and then they would go to Sweden. They didn't know that at the time. And maybe that actually helped them get it across the line, the lack of pressure and not knowing the results. Maybe Wildcard is feeling that lack of pressure right now, and maybe that's the reason why we're finally seeing them take charge of a match, because they have had 7 play days to play like this, and they didn't. And now when it's too late for them to make playoffs, just by the tiniest of margins, just by a couple of round differentials, like, I mean, that's got to be incredibly frustrating for them. But maybe it's the key.
5 seconds remaining.
If Wildcard win this game 7-0, they quite literally do fall short by 2 rounds over the 7 play days. That is just how close it would end up being.
Imagine their loss to IG 7-2 on Villa was a 7-3 or a 7-4. And imagine their loss to Knights that was a 7-1 was actually a 7-2 or a 7-3. Wildcard, that would have kept the possibility of them making the playoffs, making the major.
That would have been a pretty crazy storyline. Wildcard make the major, but then they'll have to go to the major, come back, and then fight for their spot in the league. That would have, that would have just topped off the year, honestly, at that point. But it won't be the case.
Imagine they won the major.
Okay, that's too far. That's too far.
Can pigs fly? Like, do unicorns exist?
No, imagine Wildcard made it to the major, won the major, then open qual to SI, won SI, and then they got relegated. Oh,
mate,
that would have been pretty spicy. I think we've lost the plot at this point.
I think we lost the plot as soon as this match started. Not gonna lie, but I feel like QConfirm are in the same boat as us. Like, what is this? Not a single round on the board yet, and here we are going into the second last round of their defense, and not much to show.
Chalet does gently lean towards the attack, but by no means to this extent. QConfirm need to mount something and do it quickly. Solid start to the round so fast, with 5 members up from each team. 80 seconds now pending on the scoreboard as Wildcard have control of Library. The next objective will be to open up the office. They're at Piano as well. Bit of pressure down in towards Dining, but Milo able to head that pressure. Hajime towards half wall, getting aggressive. The breach opened up. Just looking to delay this push as the breach is opened.
Wildcard have a serious shot for a plant here. The way that QConfirm have reinforced the setup means that there's a possibility for a plant that can't be denied from the angle in Piano, thanks to this reinforced wall. Thank you, Mandy, on the ops. So there's a serious shot here for Wildcard, especially now they found the opener.
Nade over the top, looking to maybe open up down below, or at least apply some pressure in response. Hajime, remember, he was at half wall, goes big, finds Vincere. Traded by Pat, Spacehead elsewhere to find one back. 3 versus 3 as the kills keep falling. Emo Rin gets one for the advantage. And now Spacehead in sight, needs to hold on. Spacehead down below, Nitro cell in hand.
Oh no, this could be huge. This could be everything for QC. And remember, they've got to win in regulation to go to the
5
playoffs.
seconds left.
And the C4 goes out blind, but Spacehead holds on. Milo can't even trade it. Spacehead! He gives them all the space they need with that shot to the head. My God. QConfirm are finally on the scoreboard.
That was such a QConfirm way to win the round. Oh my God. The 3K to close things out and Wildcard falling apart in the dying seconds. Wow. Look, a round win is a round win. It doesn't matter how you get it. You post one on the board, can't take it away now. So nice from Wildcard to get in that 4-0 position. Unfortunately, just falling apart a little bit. But again, the pressure, at the end of the day, it's on QConfirm. They need to win this in regulation for Wildcard. The result doesn't impact them to anywhere near the same extent. So it's good that QConfirm aren't rolling over, but a long way still to go.
Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Yeah, look, the current standings for APAC South as of the 3 matches we have played today. Invictus at the top, already confirmed for the major. Chiefs and Elevate confirmed for playoffs in 2nd and 3rd. Direwolves currently sitting in 4th on 11 points. And they have a shoe-in to keep that unless if QConfirm win this match in regulation. An overtime win is not enough for QC. They will lose the head-to-head to Direwolves. QConfirm need all 3 points from this game, which means they can only let Wildcard get 1 more round in the next 7.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
QConfirm have finally found the scoreboard, but they're going to have to start putting rounds together like there's no tomorrow.
I didn't even see what the objective was here, so I am going to... Oh, here we go. Okay, bar. Thank you. That's what I needed to see. How will Wildcard approach the site? I'm anticipating probably a top-down clear, maybe a bit of pressure down below in Snowmobile as well. Decent amount of utility available here for Wildcard, some grenades, which I'm sure will come in handy, no doubt, if they do in fact want to clear top of library. But first hard bridge piece of utility will be on Snowmobile. There is a mute jammer, however, and not being Habana, won't be able to detonate that just yet. Milo heads over to the drone hold, tries to send in an impact to shut that down, but he misses.
Wow, that's one hell of a mute jammer. That is one hell of a mute jammer, because with the way that the radius of mute jammer has changed, like, it's really hard to get that coverage. He must have put it so close to the wall to make sure that it gets even the corners. Now Vinny's gonna nade it through, and that should work out. There you go, exothermic unjammed and blown, but that's very late in the pipeline.
It's almost taken half the round for Wildcard. Oh, it didn't open the wall. I thought that might be client side. That's a rip.
How?
Not the absolute end of the world. The exothermic would probably just have been used anywhere else. But again, just wasting time here. Half the round has been expended already, and that's just Snowmobile. I don't know how much Wildcard have gotten done elsewhere. It looks like Vinny now applying some pressure on the library balcony, but maybe the play here for Wildcard is to go from, instead of top down top, if that makes sense, from below. But it looks like QConfirm have adjusted and have rotated defenders to this position.
Well, it's got to go big. Got to do it big. It's the only way to live as he starts to push forward on the back of that concussion. Looks like Wildcard now have control of the wine cellar. They've got a lot of ground to cover now. 40 seconds on the clock, no exchange. And QConfirm, they're just waiting. They're patient. They know they don't really need to push here.
This has been a strange round, but again, it's going to come down to Pat. Game's double window. Can he get that vault over towards the half wall and get the plant down? That's going to be key.
15 seconds to go.
As you hear the announcer call, 15 seconds left. Gio's on the perfect line, but QC might be holding on. Like Colas finds one. The entry from Pat is huge, absolutely huge, as big as it can get. Vinny has to cover, but he's down, and QConfirm deny the plants. Pat cannot get it done, and that means they salvage their half with 2 rounds. Still, the dream is alive.
didn't really feel like, it didn't look like QConfirm were in with a chance, but those 2 rounds are huge, and now the dynamic has shifted. QConfirm still playing catch up, but they have a little bit of momentum that they can now dip into. Wildcard yet to take the tactical timeout, and I'm sure as the half switch, there's no need necessarily to take it now. Get a feel for the role switch, see how you're feeling in this defensive position, and see what you can get done. Honestly, at the end of the day, a 2-4 for QConfirm is actually not too bad when you consider the overall defensive win rate. This is a slightly attacker-sided map, and the limited play time it's got in here in stage 3 of APAC South. So they started so slow. QConfirm were asleep in the first few rounds, but they're waking up now, and Wildcard will need to respond.
I've seen a lot of good things from Wildcard on Chalet defense, particularly from Imorin, who's been quiet this game. He's had some big moments as of late for Wildcard. Great to see Vinny stepping up. Pat as well had some fantastic entries on the thermite. But Imorin, in particular on this very bomb site, has a gnarly C4 that he likes to land. Playing from inside the A bomb site of kitchen, he throws it up onto this double window. Mandy knows exactly what I'm talking about. They make a hole in the floor just underneath that double window, which they haven't made yet, but I think Pat's about to do it. And the C4s that Imorin lands through that hole from 2 floors, like from 1 floor below, up through the and onto the window, it's just, it always catches a kill. I'm expecting that if QConfirm try to leverage that window position, Emo should land it again.
Imorin known for his eccentric plays, but also one of the more consistent players that has been around since the dawn of time. And yeah, definitely a skill within itself to stay in the Rainbow Six scene for such a long period of time and still being consistent, despite the meta constantly evolving and so many young players always pushing the skill ceiling up. Been a little bit quieter in this matchup, but maybe he will light up that kill feed very soon. QConfirm now on the attack. They've claimed Library, Adjume and Dark on that position. Next step though, open up that wall, expose Vinny. Said wall is electrified though, so we'll have to see how QConfirm deal with it.
A lot of different ways to do so. Ooh, I like that. X-Kairos on the single reinforced wall. Can be shot off by Milo in piano. Perhaps they could make a play on the back of that, but Vincia, oh! He absolutely nails that shot. And Dark goes down. This Electroclaw is keeping Wildcard safe. Now Milo can potentially continue to save Vinny with some... Oh, okay. You can't save Vinny when he peeks and dies like that. Now Milo feeling very lonely and cut off from this double window. QConfirm back in control of this match. They have everything they need. And Imorin knows he needs to make a play.
Start of that round, so messy from QConfirm. That pressure on that piano position meant that their plan was torn to shreds, but they adapted. Wildcard gave them a couple of picks, and now they're on the front foot. Pat, he's in dining hallway, gets swung. Hajime to find that kill, and now Imorin needs to come up clutch.
Bomb
Oh,
located
I
by
like that
attackers.
claw, but... Oh, I like that shot, but... Oh, I like that one! No! Goddamn way! Imorin! What on earth is that? Emo! What on earth was that?
That doesn't feel right. That
There are
does
some
not feel
words
right.
I want to say right now that are not safe for a broadcast, stream or not. It
my
doesn't
God.
matter. There's absolutely no way that just happened. That was a 1 versus 4.
Well, that just proves my point. That's why Imorin's still around, because he does that. Simple as that. I don't think we need to add anything more to that.
Attackers need to locate and
I mean,
defuse the bomb.
that was a great round from QConfirm. That was a fantastic round from QConfirm. But they lost it. They really did. Yeah.
My initial reaction was just to laugh,
located by
because
attackers.
I didn't know what else to do.
Apparently our producer, director, wasn't even watching. He's saying he wish he had a replay.
Well,
Gonna
to
need
be
to watch
fair,
it back.
if you blinked, you would have missed that.
Oh, absolutely. Literally 4K in about 5 seconds.
Defused a bomb.
About 5 goddamn
10 seconds
seconds.
to insertion.
One of the fastest 4Ks I've ever seen.
5 seconds
Really
left.
bringing new life to walking into the meat grinder. On the back of that wildcard are one round off of denying QConfirm their playoff spot, guaranteeing Direwolves. If there's anyone that has a vested interest in this match, it's not wildcard. To be honest, this is just a match for pride for them, a match for confidence, a match for their own positivity and optimism going into Relos. This has no impact on their standings, on their playoffs. They're already locked out of any chance of going to Sweden. QConfirm, they could make playoffs. They need to win in regulation, so they can't win and they can't lose another round.
A free-flowing extension here from Wildcard. Milo at the top of Library stairs, Vinny on Mez, Geo. The southwest corner of Library, a difficult position to clear. Still heading into this one, even off the back of losing that last round in such a dire fashion and being one round away from being denied that playoff spot. QConfirm still electing not to use their tactical time out. Could that have been a fatal flaw?
QC's chance to redeem their last chance to make playoffs. I believe QC have made playoffs every single stage. Stage 1, they just missed out in stage 1. Stage 2, they made it. In stage 3, it looks like they might just miss out again. And guess to who? To the Direwolves roster once again. They've just been trailing behind the Rising Stars from SEA. And it looks like Wildcard might be the ones to put them in the dirt. Clearing some of these Excaris is a nice move for Milo, and Vinny can assist as well with his SMG. Looks like Wildcard may be in a strong position, but QC are starting to clear this util.
4 versus 4, Milo.
Ooh,
oh,
okay.
the nade lands on his lap. That gives the advantage to QC.
Oh
Vinny
my
gets swung,
God.
dies as well behind the deployable shield. Like Cole is down, but can be revived. Pat.
Cam is up. The cam is
Another
up.
1v4.
The
Is it on
cam
the
is
cards?
Pat can definitely make this work. Lycolis doesn't get finished by the gas, and Pat has 2 remaining. They're gonna try res, but that cam was still up. How is he surviving that gas? Lycolis must be really damn good at holding his breath, and Pat's gonna make this retake attempt happen. Producer Bim shuts him down. QC lock it in. A sigh of relief after a fantastic execute onto that top floor setup.
A little bit sketchy once again for QConfirm, but they get it over the line, and their playoffs hopes and dreams are still alive. But they need to win 3 rounds straight. A tall task here, even on
4
Chalet.
rounds straight.
Well, 3 to at least get it to OT.
Yeah, but I mean, that doesn't
Oh
matter,
yeah, they
right?
need to win in regulation.
QC need to win in
You're so
regulation.
smart, Dev.
I know. I keep
That's
telling
why,
everyone.
that's why you are a 6th Invitational Showmatch caster.
That's it. 2 times show match.
2
caster.
times. Oh, God, my
Thank you.
numbers are just all off at the moment.
Look, it's there's no second chances here for QC.
Attackers need to
No
locate
second
and
chances at
defuse
all. We've
bomb.
already got 1 Thai team locked into playoffs. If QC make it as well, that's a majority of the teams in playoffs being from Thailand. Imagine that.
Well, I'm really looking forward to the playoffs. I think it's going to be fun. Definitely been some close competition as well in APAC North, and I believe the South Asian Nationals are being played out at the moment, sometime soon. So excited to see what prospects we see from that region as well. No doubt going to be exciting, and it's anywhere near as close as APAC South has been. It's no doubt going to be difficult to get a read on who's going to go to Sweden. Of course, Invictus off the back of the last matchup have confirmed their spot, but so many other teams battling it out for the remaining couple of spots as well. SA implications as well on top of that. A lot to look forward to.
Pressure mounting, QC. Once again, getting to work. They've already managed to take this bomb site this last round, so you'd think rinse, repeat, do it again. That said, Wildcard might put up more of a challenge when it comes to this top floor setup than they did last time. It was fairly trivial for QConfirm to clear all that util, nade Milo off the stairs, didn't even have to clear Vinny's shield, they just peeked him. Surely that can't happen 2 times.
That's left in the round. QConfirm, Spacehead and Dark entering from the northern side of the map. I'll come across over towards that piano double and be contested by Vinny once again on mezzanine. Milo tasked with top of library stairs as well, each with a deployable shield to play off. Last time though, QConfirm did a really good job in clearing those positions, finding those kills regardless. And maybe that is something that Wildcard have been leaning too heavily into, playing off those shields, particularly in the current meta. I'll have to wait and see though if that form replicates itself, that util comes through.
Ooh, all right, Dark. Gia, it's a pretty important kill. Deep line, all the way into library. Now it looks like Hajime is going to try and poke that hole with some pressure on from the window. Vinny's in a pivotal position. He found a kill last round from here, but now he's under the pump.
Big pause in this round. QConfirm taking their time, looking to maybe find one more kill before they go bang. Geo down, library's now free.
I found one.
So that hologram will be sent forward. Vinny is a key part of this defense. Alongside Milo, needs to go big.
Ooh, and Milo gets pushed on. How many can he find? That's one. Is it a trade there? Milo looking for another, and he gets it. That's huge, and Vinny as well. These 2 players from Wildcard have put the team on their shoulders. Milo can retreat. Vinny might lose his life, but at this point, it might not matter. Just 2 players left for the QC roster as that gas can bait out the time. Producer Boom's in a fantastic position, but I don't think he's got a shot in it here. Like Collis can take down Pat. My God, this is getting close. And Emo again. Wildcard, they do it. They get to match points, and thus denying QConfirm any chance at playoffs.
Heartbreaking for QConfirm, and this unofficially marks the end of stage 3, as any preceding result from here doesn't have an impact necessarily on the playoffs. So cheers for the
congratulations
stage.
to Direwolves, eh?
I'm done. I'll just take the headset off now. Job's over.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations to Direwolves, eh? Like, credit to them. They are, overall, it was bloody close. Absolutely just about as close as you can get. Direwolves tied for points with Elevate,
Locate and defuse bombs.
but they still managed to steal through. Even if Wildcard win this next round or win in regulation, Wildcard will jump up to 11 points as well. Imagine Wildcard, the team facing relegations, being tied 3rd on the standings. Because that's it. That's what's going to happen. Like, a Wildcard win this game. Tied 3rd, but due to round difference, losing out to Elevate and Direwolves, therefore settling in 5th. One thing is for certain, it's that Wildcard at the moment have jumped above QConfirm, taken their spot. QConfirm lose this game, they will end up in 7th place. Get this, above Knights in last place. Like, how unbelievably scuffed has stage 3 of APAC South League been? We've got the 1st place team from stage 2 at the bottom of the standings.
Crazy. Wildcard as well, if they win it out in regulation, fall 3 points short. QConfirm themselves in the seasonal standings with relegation implications. Had that have been maybe a little bit closer, who knows what could have happened there. And the reason for that is Wildcard losing a couple more games in regulation than QConfirm, who haven't actually lost or won a single game in regulation all year. They are the anti-overtime team. I don't know if I just said, did I say relegation before? I meant overtime, if that's what I said. But yeah, of 21 games played in the regular season, QConfirm have not been in overtime once. They're the only team that didn't have an overtime match.
Look, if I'm honest, I don't think they're going to break that. I think that's, I think they're probably going to be locked in and for a pretty significant L in this match, and I think it's going to happen in the next minute and a half. Is there still no skin broken on either team? As I say that, Geo does find the first blood. Guess what? It's the hard breacher, the only hard breacher QConfirm have brought to the table. That's a yikes.
QConfirm from here have to go for a solo push. Anything else isn't really going to work. Maybe if they can get a foothold in Piano, but that's going to be tough. Milo with a deployable shield, Sawyer gate, make it 2, plus probably some ADS devices as well to fortify this position. So if QConfirm want to win out this round, they need to rotate to the other side of the map, or maybe send it dining hall. That as well is not going to be precarious, particularly with those footholds. So their backs really are against the wall. Yes, it's only one pick, but being the only hard breach is so devastating.
Whole minute left. Come on, mate. You got to move, and it looks like Wildcard may be collapsing. Looks like this may be the end of it. That's a lovely grenade.
Oh my
really
God.
well placed there. Vinny goes down. Never saw it coming. 40 seconds now. QC hit the adrenaline surge, but Pat can find it. He's been on his shot all game. And now it's just Producer Boom. 1v1. Milo nowhere nearby. The Producer Boom does not have that diffuser, and Milo might just have the angle. This is going to be it. Surely this is the last moment for QConfirm in stage 3. As this plant starts to go down, Milo has to deny this. It's so close. He's trying to bait it. Producer Boom locks it in. 45 seconds on that diffuse timer. And Milo,
oh, he dropped.
Oh my God, Producer Boom dropped all the way. Milo can drop. He could maybe even stick it. Do they know? What is the chances here that Producer Boom can get there? Milo's got to stick it right now. Stick it right now. Milo, it's match point. And Producer Boom surely has it. Milo looks the angle. What a clutch by Producer Boom. This game is still going.
That would have to be one of the most confident rotations in a post plant I've ever seen. Milo could have stuck that 3 times over by the time he could even get back towards the site. I guess unfortunately for him, just didn't quite have the information needed to try and bait it out, probably anticipating Producer to be a little bit closer by. Try and flick, find that shot. Not to be though. 6-4 the scoreline, and we're not done yet.
We're definitely not. And, I mean, that was just another cooked round. Another really, really weird round. But hey, QConfirm, they've kept it alive. They've got a little bit left in them. Credit to him. Also, I'm just going to put it out there. Really strange seeing the M762, Zephia's rifle, back in a comp game, back in the game in general. Since it got nerfed so that the recoil hits like a truck, haven't seen many people playing it. A lot of people opting for the LMGE. By most people's standards, a better weapon. Producer Boom certainly got the job done with the rifle.
He's just that good.
10 seconds left.
Built it.
Doesn't need the LMG.
Laying out the welcome mat.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, wildcard for them, like, what would a win mean here? Like, nothing on the standings, but like we've talked about how wildcard, you know, it's been a shocking season, a shocking year, and they need to claw out of relegations. I honestly feel like they need to boost their confidence. I'm loving seeing Pat today. Like, he is taking a lot of risks, and yeah, sometimes it's not panning out, but like, he just ran out with smoke on the balcony, I presume to shoot drones. Maybe even just fake a run out. Like, I'm loving the fact that Pat is starting to come into his own, and we need to see Wildcard as a whole do so.
Well, if Wildcard do win this, they jump from 7th to 5th. That's an additional 1,000 USD. So that's large. That's very, very large.
Stop worrying about grenades now.
I guess.
Bomb
I
located
don't know
by
how much that
attacker.
would be each per player in Australian dollars. How many tubs of Vegemite could you buy?
At
your
least
split?
6. At least, maybe a couple. Well, what would you do with $1,000 at Woolies, at Coles,
I would,
IGA, whatever it is?
I would buy some R6 credits and buy the Asia Pacific Legion bundle. Go buy it in the
That's
store,
a great.
guys.
That's a great one. And with what you've got left over, buy some Tim Tams.
You could buy the
some,
wildcard skin. I wonder
buy
how
the
many times
wildcard
you could buy the wildcard skin.
QConfirm skin as well.
Yes, that's
Yeah. Just go through the whole collection, I reckon. I mean, we got how many things can we plug? We got the Doctor's Curse packs on at the minute. Like,
Yeah, true.
Get around it. But also go grab some Tim Tams and Vegemite.
Minute 30 left in the round. Office wall breached by those Selma charges, but Wildcard's in decent positions to deny the plant. Milo likely to be the linchpin inside of Piano once again with a deployable shield to cover that position. Will this snake it? It's unlikely. 3 ADS devices to Milo's right, making sure he doesn't get cleared out. Footholds as well again to cover that half-wall plant. And Wildcard at full strength here with 5 members up are looking favourites.
Oh, that's a nice angle. Milo gives a bit of love back. Now he's got quite the angle. Oh, he's got to watch it. Once again, feeling the pressure. Hello and goodbye. Space head straight into the welcome mat. Gives him a warm welcome. Vinny's going to peek this. He goes down. Dark's going to hold it, but he finds 2. And the plant's secured. It looks like QConfirm might be here to run a couple more laps. In the 3-on-3, Wildcard have got a retake, and I mean, it hasn't looked good. It hasn't looked good at all. QC have fallen back. Dark and Hajime have such fantastic positions to hold this from. And there's just no world that Wildcard make this work. Surely not. I just can't see it happening. I cannot see it happening. Not here, not now. QConfirm, they keep punching, they keep fighting for an overtime.
Actually did get pretty close there in the post play, and I thought for sure QConfirm they could back off towards Library. The stairs in particular so strong, just pop up when that counter defuse comes through for a free kill, but no, it did narrow down. I could have sworn it was a 1v1 there at the very, very end. So it's a good composure to win it out there from QConfirm. And yes, both their stages are done at the moment, but again, those placements do play a critical role in how much money you do take home, and a bit of pride and confidence as well on the line here. It was a slow start for QConfirm, but they're not giving up.
Just having a look at the overall standings right now for the year, because we do have not just relegations, but overall standings, right? And as of right now, QConfirm is in 6th place on 30 points across the year, tied with Direwolves, but losing the head-to-head. Now, Invictus is just above them at 32. If QConfirm can win here in overtime, they might have, well, they will definitely, even if they get any points, they jump over Direwolves. If they jump over Invictus as well with an overtime win, they would be tied on points. It would come down to the head-to-head, which I don't exactly know the results of between the two.
Invictus would have it, right? Surely.
You'd think so, right? This point, I don't bloody know.
Was that the 7-1 game where Invictus won on Cafe? Was that against QC?
There was one like that, but
Okay.
I
can't remember what the other
mate.
results
I
were.
mean, I can look up the match track if we're going to get nerdy now. This is a wildcard tactical timeout, by the way. If Wildcard lose this now, from, what was it, 7-3? 6-3 rather?
7-3.
6-3, almost. I mean, I thought it was for a minute, started packing up, turned my lights off, started walking away from the PC. If they lose this from here, guys, like, this match is a dead weight, right? But a Wildcard season has not ended yet. And they have to play Relos. They lose this from here, that's another sucker punch. I don't know.
Maybe. Hear me out. Hear me out. Maybe.
Don't you dare say saving strats.
No. It's even bigger brain than that. Wildcard are treating this like a scrim. So they can play more sites because more rounds.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
Yeah, I
does
don't
that
think I don't think so, mate. I really don't.
I think that might be the reason.
I think you're full of crap. And not just in general as well.
Say that with a straight face was challenging, but you just never know. You just never know.
And look, I ran the numbers. QConfirm have lost to Invictus twice and only beat them once. So QC don't have the head-to-head. Even if they win this, they won't jump Invictus in the season standings. But if they push overtime, they will jump Direwolves in the season standings and end up in 5th place. So that's something.
don't think that equates to anything at all, but
I mean, it's above the standings, but I don't know if that means any more prize money or
I
anything.
don't think it does. It's a bit of a
I mean,
flex, I guess.
I'm trying to find a reason for Invictus to keep pushing.
Why
the
should you
really
guys
am.
still be watching the VOD? Well, let's see. Can Wildcard get the job done here in regulation, or is there still twist this tail that feels like it's dragging on a little bit at this point? Wildcard probably should have gotten the job done, but QConfirm mounting a mini comeback of sorts. Minutes left in the round. QC gets some boots on the ground on the northern side of the map. Solar across. And again, it's probably going to come down to this skirmish over towards top library stairs. Util game needs to be on point here from the attack. Clear out mezzanine, clear out the top of said stairs, get library control, get some vertical, and then convert that to side.
Good util spam. QC are looking more and more practiced at clearing out this util. Wildcard have done a good job playing this position in the past. It's also fallen apart before.
Changing maps.
Gio has just been relentlessly playing this position on the defense for Wildcard to limited effect. For the most part, QConfirm doing decently to deal with that. Vinny as well on mezzanine playing behind that shield. So the role's clearly defined here for Wildcard. The same defensive set up. Space Head gets one, like Colas as well. Wildcard falling apart. Gio under the pump. Double swung, can't win that. Emo and Pat, the last two alive. And it could be flawless for QC.
He's done it before! He's done it before! 1v4 now for Emo. And he, I mean,
Oh no, come on.
There's no point where you write him off. Absolutely no point. They finally get it done. QConfirm push overtime. What a comeback, 3 rounds in a row.
Are QConfirm allergic to Emo Rin? Like, do they feel bad for killing him or something? What? They did get it done in the end, but again, a little bit scary. This has been messy. This game has been far from the cleanest we have seen so far here for APAC South 2021. But, yeah, a fitting conclusion, I would say, for two teams that have been a bit up and down. Overtime. Didn't think that was going to be on the cards, but here we are.
So,
Defenders, protect your bombs from
I believe there's one result still to be determined here, actually. There's still one element of the standings that can shift, and that is our predictions. The talent predictions. Am I right in saying that there's still a possibility here for the talent predictions to shuffle? Am I going crazy? Am I going crazy?
Well, Raven said it could be a three-way tie between himself, Manic, and I. I wonder who wins the mini league. Does that mean? Does that mean I'm going to the major? Do I have the better round diff?
not happening, mate.
Am I going to Sweden? Do I need to get my passport renewed?
Me, Xenox, and Raven picked QConfirm, and Guz and Manic picked Wildcard. So I think this is no longer a match of QConfirm versus Wildcard. I think this is a match between you versus me, Guz. Tell me, why is Wildcard going to win this one? Why will you be correct and I will be wrong? Because I'm like, mate, I've just come back 3 rounds in a row.
So
I think we're coming for you, buddy.
If QConfirm win this, do you win?
I win. And you lose.
No. That can't be. That's impossible.
It's a best of 1, mate. It's a best of 1. All the other results this season are irrelevant. It's just a best of 1 now. Between you and me, right here.
Oh, that's right. You're like last, right? You're confusing.
I cannot confirm nor deny at this time.
Well, I still want to know if it's a 3-way tie for first in predictions. Who wins the round?
I mean, that's
who's
the
going
reason you want to keep. That's the reason you want to keep watching right now to find out which of us is going to get it right.
Wonder what the weather's like in Sweden at the moment. It's probably cold.
Bloody cold. I guess. It is summer though, right? Oh, it's coming out of summer at the moment.
Probably still cold. By our
I
standards.
think it's cold all the time in Sweden.
Look, I don't think we're going to have to worry about that all that much, and neither of these teams will, either. As neither can make the playoffs. Nade's heading out over towards Piano. Moloska finally under pressure in this position for what feels like the first time in this match so far. Let's find the first, but traded back. Nice from Dark. Not a bad start for QC.
Vinny's holding on. There's no breach on his wall as of yet. They haven't fully cleared this top floor. Gio's coming to replace Milo, so some support on the upstairs. That's a lovely shot from him too. Fantastic showing here from Wildcard as they hold on. They found 2 picks and only lost 1 as of yet. Vinny can re-enable the Syria gate and oh my! Hajime gives a high five right in the backside to Gio, and QConfirm handing Wildcard their own backside. But there's one man who still survives, and it is Imorin. And he's made the 1v4 work before. That's a C4 that finds nothing. But still, this man is alive. Pat as well. 2 stellar performances this match for Wildcard. After losing 3 rounds in a row, they try and hold on for another 40 seconds.
Footholds from Imorin. Oh no, but it's up above the vert. Maybe a ping on the drone there, not entirely sure, but either way, like Colas gets that kill. Now Pat surely wins this on the swing. Does, but he's so low on HP, a single bullet. There we go. He's off the board. QConfirm. Confirm the round.
And they're very close to QConfirming this match as well. 4 rounds in a row. Would you believe it? The last time we saw a team in this match win 4 in a row, it was Wildcard. In the opening of this game, they found the first 4 rounds, and it looked like Wildcard could even be on track for a 7-0. Since then, QConfirm has won 7 of the last 9 rounds. This has been a very dominant second half of the match for QC.
We might be casting 30 rounds tonight.
Love that.
Probably the best math I have produced all year, so I'm pretty proud of that one.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, it is pretty...
How are you feeling about losing your prediction, mate?
Well, I mean, it's still in the bag. I was just about to say, Wildcard shifting over towards the attack. They'll send it to OT. QConfirm, no doubt, going to absolutely capitulate under the pressure. Wildcard will get
one word. I have one word. And that's chalked. Wildcard is just chalked, mate. QC, all the way. It's going to happen, mate.
I don't think so. Where's
Mate,
your...
7 of the last 9 rounds. 7 of the last 9 rounds.
Past performance is not an indicator of future performance, Dev.
Yeah, well, you can say
Recency
that again
bias.
when you're talking about Wildcard, mate. You can say that again when you're talking about Wildcard, mate.
Wait, when was the last time Wildcard had a good result?
5 seconds left.
Oh, yikes. That's like a too toxic.
It's getting dark, and I'm not talking about the QC player.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
Still an opportunity for a small bit of salvation. I don't know what I'm saying at this point, but Wildcard could salvage something maybe here in this matchup. Need to win the next 2 straight. Attack. It was strong for them. 4-0 lead for Wildcard that has since disintegrated before their eyes. Excited to see how this one plays out. Vinny again still being a rock-solid performer. 12-11 so far, backed up again by Imorin and some of his late round efforts. Let's see what they can get done in this room.
Once again, that take downstairs for Wildcard. Oh, here's a freebie for Emo. Surely, doesn't quite lock it in as of yet. Wouldn't know that was a down as well. Great info for Vinny too. Surely there's no way QC can raise that. I don't believe there's a Kona station nearby for Dark to crawl to either. Hajime is going to make it work. QC have that player back up alive again. As Wildcard very separated, start to push on through. Bit of downstairs, bit of top floor. Not a lot in between as of yet.
Here on the lurk. I think Milo as well.
Kona positioned.
Another nade. Gets caught though. Hajime still in this position. Dark has actually been able to boost himself back up to full HP using those Kona stations, which is cool implementation. Moloska could find himself in a gunfight
Bomb
surely
located
here
by
against
attackers.
Spacehead.
Looks like they got info. Yellow ping comes through. Milo doesn't know exactly where. Oh my! He does land enough shots. That's a heavy hitting LMG. And on the back of it, the Lion. Once again, and Milo's got himself a power position on this angle. Geo to drone ahead. Look at the angle. Oh, Dark eats one of those bullets before being killed by the Kona station. 50 seconds left. QC still have the match point in their hands, but Wildcard are looking to fight back.
50 seconds left. Backstore going to be tricky to clear. That's the angle that Molosca's looking to try and win out, but has been unsuccessful so far, and I don't expect Dark to peak in response. Producer Boom as well. So close by. Pat with the diffuser in hand likely will look to enter games. Double might even go for a mud push. Either way, this is going to be a chaotic conclusion to the round.
And time is still ticking. Wildcard trying their darndest. Geo, the front man, the vanguard, the first in, but the flashbang! That's not it! That's not it at all! QConfirm in the 2-on-2, the 2-on-1! Pat's the last man for Wildcard! QConfirm! 5 rounds in a row to lock out the reverse sweep over Wildcard. They put them back down into the dirt, into relegations with you. And QC end their 2021 season of APAC South League in 5th place.
Yay. Go QC.
I was right and you were wrong, Guz. And that's all that matters.
I just want to say that was a bit of a funny way to end the round, just looking at Vinny desperately gasping for air stuck in that frost mat, the poor bloke, and he was having a pretty good game. But yeah, I think once we knew this match was over, it's just a good opportunity to reflect upon the stage as a whole, even the year, and both of these teams did go through rough patches. Wildcard obviously more than their opposition. They now find themselves in relegations, and unfortunately QConfirm so close yet so far from the Stage 3 playoffs. Nonetheless, a fun game of Siege. I don't think it's one that's going to go down in the history books necessarily, but quite entertaining nonetheless.
I think what will go down in the history books is Wildcard ending APAC South League 2021 at the bottom of the standings in 8th place, going down into relegations. Let's toss back to the desk. I'm sure they'll have a chat with Lycolis, and we'll see how this season has shaped up.
What a way to close out the stage. Big win for QConfirm in OT. Not enough, though, to get them into the top 4, which is now all but sealed, of course, at the completion of the stage. IG in that top spot, getting to go straight to Sweden. Chiefs elevate, and then Direwolves sneak on in by the barest of margins in the end. Raven, what a stage, ultimately. I mean, obviously, I guess we can maybe touch on this match a little bit. It was we probably should, to a degree. But let's be honest, it was a good stage, but for QConfirm, probably just kind of summed up their stage, actually. Just not quite enough to get the job done.
Yeah, I think it does perfectly sum up their stage. You know, like, there's moments where they can really pull it together, but not enough for them to be able to really achieve things, unfortunately. Like, they just have always just been on the edge of qualifying for something. At one point in stage 2, I remember we were talking about them potentially qualifying directly for a major, and then that just fell by the wayside, and all of a sudden it was like they barely held on to playoffs. So, look, good that they ended up getting a win in the end, but yeah, unfortunately, they didn't get playoffs again this stage.
Rob, I'll quickly get your very, very quick thoughts here before we go to Lycolis. Anything you want to add?
Look, I think, you know, they finished the stage with 4 wins, and it's still not enough. I think that's absolutely crazy. The fact that you can pull off 4 wins and still miss out on playoffs, I think it speaks volumes to where this league is at. But I do agree with Raven, you know. There's times where we see an unbelievable QConfirm. There's times where we see a less than par kind of QConfirm. We saw that for the first bit, and then they turned on. So unreal from them.
Let's go and have a chat with Lycolis waiting in the wings off the back of that victory. Lycolis, it's a bittersweet kind of victory because in the end it doesn't really amount to anything other than just a win in itself. But what does the team, I guess, take away from this result, and I guess maybe take away from this stage?
Well, I think for this match, I think at least we were like able to prove to be like 5th place in the match. So yeah, a higher like prize money. Yeah, we were like this that we cannot win this match. It was almost, because like every round that we losing to them on the like first half that we defense were like pretty close. We were almost to that, but yeah, we were the one that made the mistake. So yeah, we're losing. So we just have to accept it and improve on the next season.
Yeah, I really want to ask about like kind of the way that the match played out. You lost the first 4 rounds in a row, and then you ended up winning 8 of the next 10. So was there something that changed for you guys after being down 0-4 that kind of helped you kind of bring it back and come back into the game?
I think there isn't like something like factor or anything. We just like playing the same, but we were more like don't make the same mistake twice that we like made on the 4th round. It was like, I think there wasn't like much of the mistake. It's just that sometimes we were like too aggressive on some position that caused us to lose. So we learned from that. We learned from like how they attack and from like how they attack on bar. They always like no pressure from offense at all. So we kind of figure it out how they play, and yeah, we were able to like win them a row after like we were able to think to like how we should play to counter them. That we should play like aggressive on the first, and then something like play slow down and just hold the position, because they were just like most of the time they're just holding the angle and just wait for the opportunity for us to rotate or to make a move first. So I think the reason we're losing because we were like not carefully enough.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Look, like Hollis, I want to talk about kind of the mentality. You're coming into a game where playoffs are on the line. You know, you win in regulation and you do secure yourself a spot in playoffs. Is that like? Do you guys think about that coming into this game? Do you think about the implications of winning or losing?
Yeah, we think we want to win for the chance to be in the playoff. Even though like there was some factor like something like, you know what, about like COVID-19, or we saw that there's like a lot of things that we have to prepare. But yeah, if we were able to like be in the playoff and get a chance, even though we may not be able to go there, but at least we are able to qualify. I think that's what we think. We're just trying to be our best, try to play our best, play our game, to be at least to be like attend to the major, because we haven't go there before. We haven't qualified there before.
Yeah. At least you finished off the stage in a strong manner, like Hollis, winning 4 of your last 5 matches. I guess it does lead you in good stead heading into 2022. Any final thoughts and shout-outs you want to give us before we let you go?
Yeah. Good luck for like everyone on the next season. Also, like myself, our team will be there. Going to be a change, maybe. There's going to be a change for sure, yeah, for the improvement. So I hope that everything in the next season will come out great. That's all. And by the way, thank you for like everyone that's cheering us for to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, like Hollis, for coming on and having a chat. Best of luck next year.
See you.
Well, that's the end of Like Hollis, the end of QConfirm for this year. No playoffs, but also no relegations. As he sort of alluded to, though, Raven, maybe some changes could be in order for that team. And maybe 1 or 2, maybe 1. That's about it. And I think that there's a real squad there, some real talent.
Yeah, there really is, and that's the thing about that roster. And I feel like we start to say it about a lot of rosters in APAC South, but it's so true. Like, they're all quite skilled players, pretty sharp. It's just some certain aspects of their play style, or there's a lot of things obviously we don't get visibility on, such as their comms and team dynamics. But yeah, it feels like there is just a missing link at the moment with QConfirm. But they have it in them. We say it a lot. They have it in them. If they can find a change that just makes everything click a bit better, they certainly could be a strong team next year.
We've got a fun fact for you, Rob, but it's not a fun fact for QConfirm. While they did, in fact, win 4 games this stage, they don't make top 4. There's a team that only won 3 that made top 4. Can you believe it? Elevate with only 3 wins, 4 losses, somehow winning out there. We had 3 teams ending on 11 points, Rob. It really just highlights this league that we're in.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. And you know what? You take a step back and you look at the seasonal standings for 2021. There are, how many teams is that? That is 5 teams separated by only 3 points. Like that if that doesn't sum it up, I don't know what does. Because honestly, from stage 1 through to stage 3, it has always been tight. It has always been competitive, and it's sad to see the fact that, you know, 2 teams may have to go. Who knows? And it's, I mean, you know, a bit of OS bias here, but it's sadly the Australian boys that are in there.
We'll get to them in a minute. Let's go and have a look at the schedule for today, of course, and wrap up the matches that we had. It started off with a lot of hope for the day. Direwolves, of course, though, pretty much destroyed that hope immediately, Raven.
They did, and that was such a surprising game, not only because of the result, but just the dominant fashion of it. Getting that 7-2 was just, yeah, pretty wild, and wow, boy did it snowball from there.
Yeah, it got pretty bad, didn't it, Rob? Obviously, Order ended up... unless you're an Order fan, I guess, but they denied the Chiefs from going to Sweden, and then, of course, the match of the stage, which, for a brief shining moment, we thought maybe the Chiefs would end up going to Sweden, but not to be.
No, it came down to what, 30 seconds, a 2 versus 5 for Speakeasy, and I can't remember who the second player was for Invictus, but I mean, does anyone? Because it's just Speakeasy, it's always Speakeasy. And then, I mean, I don't know, that final game, Xenox, that, honestly, that puts a ribbon on Wildcard's entire season.
Yeah.
You know, they're looking good, then... No, not at all. It's heartbreaking for them. But I mean, honestly, QC now come away with 10 regulation wins out of their full 2021 season, which I think, I think that they've done an incredible job throughout this year, regardless of where we kind of put them. So I mean, you know, I would say that they've shone a nice light on themselves.
Definitely agree with you. Let's go and have a look at the predictions. And of course, reigning Supreme Champion Guz, I'm sure, has probably won again.
What?
Lo and behold, though, he has a teammate in Stowe. It's Raven, courtesy right at the end. Manic gets left behind at the altar.
Damn.
Not much to say here. I will say, is this the first stage where no one has gone below 50%?
Maybe. I think it is.
I think it is, honestly, too. I think it is. Pretty cursed.
Wait, I'm so confused. I'm so upset that I didn't get... I'm not in there. I'm not with the boys. What's going on? That is absolutely shocking.
I thought you were going to be tied with us. I must have miscounted it. I don't know. But
I think I did too. I think I
Anyway.
miscounted this in a big way.
All right, let's go and have a look at the standings for this game. For those who are, of course, still watching the VOD, we very much appreciate everyone who's been able to stick it out this far and watch these parts of the broadcast. You guys get a little special shout out. But let's have a look at the standings, guys. It's not good viewing for the OCE. Not only did the Chiefs not get top spot, but then Order, Wildcard, and Knights all in the bottom 3, Rob. That's a crazy one.
I mean, what? Like, honestly, this just continues to just get more crazy as the year has gone on. I mean, what's that? 2-3 points separating 7th from 2nd place. You honestly, you just don't. You could not read about it. I'm being serious here. How tight this entire league has been is unbelievable. And then when you look at who is in 8th place on 7 points, it's the Stage 2 champions. It is the team coming into Stage 3 that we were giving the most praise, that we were giving the most hype, and boy, has it just been abysmal.
Yeah, and by the way, quickly there, Raven, Knights have the same wins as the team in 3rd place.
So true. Look, it shows the importance of wins versus overtime wins. But yeah, like I think the biggest shock definitely is Knights on the bottom. You know, like Order, Wildcard, they're the 2 teams going through to relegation. So at the end of the day, like, you kind of would expect them to see them in the bottom 4 in general, but Knights just going from top of Stage 2, bottom Stage 3 in tremendous fashion. That is wild.
Of course, Direwolves and QConfirm basically neck and neck and tied, but head-to-head goes the way of Direwolves. Of course, Invictus, that top spot, all theirs by 1 measly little point above the Chiefs. It's an APAC South stage that lived up to the billing coming into Stage 3. Sure, there's some teams in some places we definitely did not expect, but I think, Rob, the only one being probably Knights. If we had have come into this stage looking at an IG, Chiefs, Elevate, Knights kind of top 4, we would have said that's bang on.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think you could have really faulted it. And I think that, you know, the way that it's gone with Invictus finishing out on top this stage, I think that that is fitting off the back of their major performance, then coming into the first 5 Playdays. I do think that that is deserved. But yeah, it's just the fact that Knights have been so poor in their performance. You know, again, winning 3 games out of 7 is not awful by any means, but it's not up to the standard that we would set them at. And it is a shame. It is a shame, Xenox, and I don't think that we can really shine a good light on that without really diminishing the light of a team like Direwolves, for example, who has fought and fought and fought for the position that they now find themselves in.
Also means for the Knights, no SI either, unless they can do it through the open qualifiers. Invictus apparently right now, as we talk, in the top 16, of course, going to the major. They'll have an opportunity to get some more points there. If they can do that, who knows? Long way to go. Let's go and look at the playoff bracket, though, of course, for APAC South. This is the big one. Oh, it's the APAC League, I guess, of course. North, South, they all combine along with South Asia. And some new names, some old names, mostly old names. I can't remember if Damwon Kia was in stage 2 or not.
Yes.
They were? Okay.
Yeah,
they got the upper
bracket.
They got the upper bracket invite
That's right, yeah,
to
there
the
you go.
major. Yeah.
Yeah, never in question. Hey, you know, speaking of some new names, SA National number 2. What? We didn't know that team. What's going on there?
Yeah, they got rid of
jeez,
Kira
mate.
Esports and Mercenaries as well. Both got knocked out by SA National. Of course, those matches still to be played. I'm sure by the time this VOD is out, this should be, I would imagine, actually fully updated. But what are our thoughts on this bracket that we've got so far? Some pretty key matchups. I think we can mainly highlight the 2 in the middle. Cyclops versus Elevate. In times gone by, maybe at the start of the year, this would have been massive. Damwon Kia versus Direwolves. Talk about throwing Direwolves straight into the deep end, Raven.
Yeah, look, I think both those matchups are really exciting. In particular, that Cyclops Elevate matchup, that is certainly not, you know, I feel like it'd be so easy to think, oh, Cyclops in the bag. No, like they barely got to playoffs as it is in APAC North. And I mean, Elevate, they were vying for a major spot today. So, I mean, based on those 2 paths, it feels like that could be a really exciting, competitive best of 1. So I'm really looking forward to that one. But yes, I think Damwon Kia are probably going to have their way with Direwolves a little bit. That being said, they also struggled in this stage. In APAC North, it's not like they're the dominant selves they were in stage 2.
It's also a best of 1.
Also best of 1, yes.
Yeah.
So stranger things have happened. But look, that first round in particular, certainly shaping up to be exciting with those current matchups.
Rob, I have to ask you thoughts on the Chiefs' path there. It seems pretty decent, I guess, from an OCE perspective.
Yeah, I mean, like when you think about the teams that they're going up against, they've probably got the better bracket, all things considered. You obviously got to go up against Dam1, but you know, you just said it best. It's a best of 1. You don't know what's going to happen in a best of 1. Anything can. I mean, Order beat Chiefs tonight to knock them out of the Swedes. Like, that is how crazy best of 1s can be. So I do think that if you're a Chiefs fan, if you're an Australian Siege fan, you'll be happy that Chiefs have got that lower bracket.
Of course, just quickly before we sort of close out, we will be covering the APAC League playoffs, and of course, actually, I don't know when this is going to be out, so who knows, maybe the APAC playoffs have already commenced and finished, who knows. Final thoughts, I guess, on the regular stage. I'll go to you first, Manny.
Back to me. Oh, well, look, I think I can kind of tie a ribbon on the season from my point of view. I think that it's been absolutely phenomenal. Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3 regular seasons have delivered. They have been entertaining. They have been explosive. There is a reason why so many around the world call this the most entertaining tournament league of Siege, and it's definitely not because of our faces. It's definitely not because of our voices. It is all because of the teams and what they produce week in and week out. And I think that Stage 3 again has just I think it's outdone itself in terms of how close this league has really become. So I couldn't have been happier being a part of this for 2021, and you know, grateful for that opportunity as well. Thought I'd sneak that in there.
Raven?
Yeah, look, definitely echoing Manic sentiments. APAC South, it always delivers in excitement. There is always some wild stuff happening, some wild circumstances in terms of how certain results could pan out. Might not always be pretty, it might not always be the cleanest Siege, but it is definitely entertaining. So yeah, it's been really enjoyable. And look, it's not over. We still have the playoff series to go. And of course, we're going to have some APAC teams over in Sweden for the major. Still very excited to see how that all plays out.
Well, we're not usually in this sort of situation in terms of closing off a broadcast. In this case, for anyone that is still watching, we thank you very much. More so than ever, of course. It means that you are one of the dedicated few to continue to listen to us ramble on until the end. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. It's been an amazing stage. We cannot wait for APAC playoffs to begin. We'll see you there.